tell y'all this shit because this shit really been fucking with me, really been eating me up. I ain't never stood for none of my partners, bro.
What happens if your best friend, who helped you start your business from scratch, allegedly steals $70,000 from you and then says you were too high to remember handing it to them? The entire hip-hop community is currently divided over this bizarre tale. NBA YoungBoy and BBG Baby Joe, his old day one companion, are also involved. We are discussing a bond that began in the Baton Rouge trenches and developed into a multi-million-dollar movement before collapsing due to what may have been the most contentious theft charge in rap history. This is the unexpected twist, though. Everyone's preconceived notions about this circumstance have been called into question by Baby Joe's shocking answer. You will comprehend why this story goes much beyond simply missing money and how it exposes the dark side by the end of this film of allegiance in the music business. Stay in until the very end, because I'm going to reveal the true tea behind this whole mess, including the startling information Baby Joe disclosed about what actually transpired that evening and the reason he's now essentially pleading for YoungBoy to bring him back while millions pass him by. This story is more bizarre than anything you've seen on social media, I promise. I'll paint the picture for you all. Swift. The BBG NBA YoungBoy and Baby Joe have been close since the beginning. Been raised in the same streets in Louisiana's Baton Rouge. Here, we are discussing real day, one-type energy. When Young was a young, reckless youngster attempting to escape the trenches, these guys were working together. Baby Joe was more than simply a clout chaser or hanger-on. No, family. From the beginning, he worked with YoungBoy in the studio, helping to create the sound that would later make them both famous. The entire BBG movement was being constructed from the ground up, song by song, brick by brick. Their synergy was evident in their previous collaborations and videos. That kinship was clear when they were working together. YoungBoy's exuberance was wonderfully complemented by Baby Joe's unique style and flow. They weren't in competition with one another. They were encouraging one another. Beyond merely music, the BBG brand expanded. It symbolized the loyalty, ride-or-die attitude, and Baton Rouge street mentality that both of them possessed. Baby Joe participated in of the core group that contributed to defining BBG's cultural significance. However, you are all aware of the hip-hop version of this tale. Everything is altered by money, and sometimes the people closest to you end up hurting you the most when the stakes are higher. Success can be both a blessing and a curse, particularly when it comes to putting connections that were formed through hardship to the test. This is where things start to get hot. And everyone was talking about this part. NBA YoungBoy allegedly accused Baby Joe of robbing him of $70,000. $70,000, family. We're talking about a big transition here. For most people, that is money that could change their lives.
It's a situation that took place on social media that I want to see if you could clear up for everybody, man. Because people were saying, now this is rumor, this ain't me, they were saying that you had allegedly taken $70K from NBA YoungBoy somehow?
Some I holler at my brother about when he come home type, just some, some in-house shit.
Okay, now why would people think that you had taken $70K from NBA YoungBoy?
Shit, yeah, said in the song.
It was crazy how this whole thing came to light. YoungBoy didn't simply call Baby Joe and deal with it in private, as one might anticipate from young children who have experienced everything together. No, he made it public through his music, releasing lyrics that had people on social media and in the streets attempting to figure out what actually happened. Immediately, the streets began to hum. Every song and social media post was being analyzed by people in an attempt to determine the chronology of events. Some people claimed that Baby Joe actually stole the money because he became avaricious and assumed YoungBoy wouldn't notice or care because they were related. There must be more to the narrative, according to some, since why would someone who was risk everything for $70,000 while already enjoying the benefits of the BBG movement? Baby Joe had his own prospects, agreements, and money. He shouldn't have risked all of that for what YoungBoy undoubtedly thought was pocket coin. However, this is what added to the complexity of the situation. YoungBoy never truly came out and described the events in detail. He simply made it apparent that Baby Joe was no longer a member of the team by his music and behavior. That made it very easy for rumors and conjecture to spread. Theories abounded on the hip-hop blogs. Some claimed that Baby Joe had been acting strangely for some time, that there was envy involved, or that it was about more than simply money. Others speculated that Joe might be growing too accustomed to taking excessive liberties. Baby Joe remained silent about the whole thing for a very long time. Most likely, he was hoping it would pass. Perhaps he was attempting to manage it in the background. However, he has made the decision to step forward and share his account of what happened. And believe me when I say that his narrative is very different from what people have been thinking. Baby Joe claims that he never took anything from YoungBoy. He's actually making the exact opposite claim. He was so drunk when the YoungBoy gave him the money that he subsequently forgot about it. In a recent interview, Baby Joe explained it like this: "I never stole from any of my companions. I would never steal anything from any of my companions."
Look, tell y'all this shit, cause this shit really been fucking with me, really been eating me up. I ain't never steal from none of my partners, bro. You hear me? I was giving it high, I was giving it, if you take meds, sometimes you forget stuff, you feel me? But like, I ain't no troll, that's why I ain't never wanna do this shit. But like, it's kinda getting out of hand. I ain't never go in my mood like that. Nigga too thorough, nigga changed my life, you feel me? Like, that shit be hurting my feelings, you feel what I'm saying? Like, that shit be getting to me. I don't really like that.
Cash might not have been in the appropriate frame of mind at the moment, so it's possible that it was delivered to me and then forgotten. It's a serious charge, implying that the YoungBoy's drug use may have contributed to the entire miscommunication. When discussing this circumstance, Baby Joe was very emotional. You could hear it in his words and see it in his face. For him, this isn't just about money. This is about his street name, his reputation, and above all, his connection with someone he thought of as a brother. He continued by explaining that YoungBoy suspected Baby Joe had taken the money without authorization when he sobered up and realized it was gone. However, from Baby Joe's point of view, he was simply holding money that had been handed to him honestly. The issue is that a person's memory isn't always trustworthy when they're intoxicated. There are now 2 accounts of the same incident, and unless there are witnesses or video evidence, there is no practical way to determine what actually occurred. Baby Joe also discussed the psychological and emotional effects of the entire circumstance. He claimed that since stealing goes against all he believes in, the charge truly affected him. Being called a thief is one of the worst things that can happen to your reputation on the streets, where your word is your bond. Baby Joe has suffered greatly as a result of this turmoil. While Baby Joe was confined to Baton Rouge, watching from the sidelines like a fan, YoungBoy was out there selling out arenas on his mass tour, earning millions and expanding his reputation. Monster has been incredibly successful. Incredibly successful. YoungBoy is touring cities all over the nation, performing for sold-out audiences every night with special guests like Lil Tim. The money has been flowing, the excitement has been wild, and this year, it has been one of the biggest hip-hop tours. We are discussing arenas that can accommodate 15,000 to 20,000 people and are consistently sold out. Each show's retail sales alone likely generate hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then there were the meet and greets, VIP packages, and ticket sales. This tour has been a profitable venture. However, Baby Joe has remained at home coping with. He was unable to leave Louisiana due to legal concerns. Baby Joe was on probation due to his past charges, so even if YoungBoy wanted to take him on tour, he couldn't go. Baby Joe has been honest about how deeply this affected him. "Man, I adore it. Man, I adore it. He deserves it, man. I was heard. And right now, man, you deserve everything. I have no hate or bone in my body. That is something I would still like to see whether or not I go. Do you understand what I mean? Like, I keep up with this. I view all of the videos from a distance, you know. I'm not taking part at the moment. There's a lot of pain there, family. Picture yourself observing your day, while you're stuck at home coping with the fallout from a situation you say you didn't even cause. One homie is living out your dreams. A young guy performs for thousands of admirers on stage every night. Baby Joe is most likely at home looking through all the tour footage on Instagram and thinking back to the times when he might have been up there as well. The tour has been successful. Big cities like Atlanta, Houston, Los Angeles, and New York are likely sites where Baby Joe attracted followers who were anticipating seeing him. Rather than Baby Joe, they see Big B, Ben 10, and the rest of the team. Baby Joe has been brutally honest about how his pride has contributed to the entire scenario. He acknowledged that his pride might be preventing him from making the first move, even if there was a chance to make amends with YoungBoy. Make a move. I'm proud. I'm proud. Most likely the largest one. That's the truth, you know. In one of his interviews, he stated, "My pride is the biggest one."
Proud of my pride is the biggest one. That's really what it is, my pride, the biggest one.
Here in the neighborhood, this is some true street psychology. Your reputation and sense of pride are crucial. It hurts deeply when someone, especially someone you thought of as family, accuses you of stealing. Money isn't the only factor. It has to do with disdain, mistrust, and the belief that you would betray someone you care about. Baby Joe clarified that although he could confront YoungBoy in person and have a conversation, at the moment he's just feeling wounded and accepting things as they are. He is not pressing the matter or attempting to compel a reunion. Just letting YoungBoy follow his own way while he does what he wants. You know, brother, I'm simply hurting. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm simply leaving it be for the time being. I'm just accepting things as they are. Do you understand what I mean? That's not really how I'm pressing the subject. When he discusses the situation, you can sense the genuine pain in his voice. For him, this is more than just business. It was family. When your family betrays you, it hurts differently than ordinary beef or business politics, especially in public. Baby Joe's circumstances have been entirely different from YoungBoy's, who has been becoming wealthier and more prosperous. He's back in the neighborhood, dealing with the same streets that YoungBoy and he were initially attempting to flee. Baby Joe has been open about his present circumstances. He was recently released from prison on some previous offenses. He had ceased going to court for a few things from his early years, nothing too significant. He claimed that his court dates were actually postponed after he was shot, and he began to forget about them until they caught up. Alongside him, he is currently attempting to resume his musical career, but it is difficult to do so when you are no longer supported by that machine. To accept full responsibility for his circumstances and be open and honest about what he's been through. But let's face it, trying to succeed as an independent artist after being a member of one of the greatest hip-hop gangs is a big change. You had built-in features, built-in advertising, and built-in everything when you were a part of BBG. Baby Joe now had to construct everything from the ground up. The financial hardship is also genuine. You can read between the lines even though he won't discuss his financial circumstances in detail. He is no longer receiving those BBG checks, living that tour life, or being a part of the young guy money machine that has been making millions. He claimed to have recently received a substantial check, but he played it cool when questioned about it. Man, never reveal what's in your pockets to anyone. There you have it, street wisdom. However, it also implies that he is being cautious with whatever money he has since he is aware that it may not last him very long. Some have said that Baby Joe has been pleading with YoungBoy to accept him back, claiming that he is anxious to win back YoungBoy's favor since he is broke and needs the BBG money once more. You can understand why people might believe so by looking at some of his social media posts and interviews. Baby Joe has been outspoken in his support of YoungBoy. He has been complimenting the masser even when they are not speaking, discussing how he makes it apparent that he has no hatred in his heart and is proud of the YoungBoy's accomplishments. Man, I'm always that one thing about myself. I'm devoted, dude. I'm upset about the circumstances. He added, I'm never mad at the person, demonstrating that despite his hurt over what transpired, he still loved YoungBoy as a person. For someone he still views as family, some perceive this as sincere affection and support. Others, however, perceive it as a man who is desperate to earn back YoungBoy's favor by displaying public loyalty in the hopes that YoungBoy will finally pardon him and welcome him back. The reality is, most likely in the middle. It's likely that Baby Joe truly loves and supports YoungBoy. You can't just switch off that genuine kinship they had overnight. However, he's also likely hoping that this public support would help mend their relationship, which would undoubtedly help him both financially and professionally. You can hear the optimism in his voice when he discusses perhaps re-establishing contact with YoungBoy. "We might connect up in the near future, but we'll miss the trip. I can't leave, you know. I am unable to leave the state. You are aware." What am I saying? Right now, I'm trapped. The politics of the sector are what further aggravate this issue. Baby Joe stated that he has been receiving calls instructing him to stop discussing the matter in public and that he is overdoing it by attempting to defend himself on blogs and social media. People from both groups have been making these calls. People who believe he should go on with his life and let sleeping dogs lie. But because his reputation is at stake, Baby Joe has been finding it difficult to follow that counsel. Theft is serious. As if that were a big deal. That is significant. Yes, wearing the jacket is challenging. Do you sense me? Similar to robbing your lads. It would be equivalent to putting on 3 hard jackets. Do you sense me? Before I steal, I would prefer to take. That's some real talk right there, Baby Joe remarked. Your reputation and word are crucial in street culture. It's also difficult to regain your integrity if others begin to doubt it. People's perceptions of you, their interactions with you, and your ability to advance in your society are all impacted by being called a thief. Additionally, Baby Joe stated that his boyhood pals have been contacting him, pointing out that he is talking too much and attempting to justify himself to unimportant people. However, he doesn't care about blogs or comments on social media. For his children, his relatives, and those who truly know him, it is about cleaning his name. I have young boys. You know, if I have children and they have to come up under that, that's Baby Joe's son, and they're perfect for them. You know, my dad was a good boy man, just for those young guys who came up. You know, where are things at the moment? YoungBoy has been releasing hit records, selling out performances, and maintaining his success, and expanding his empire beyond recognition. He is likely to continue touring and earning money while he can because the Masa tour has been so successful. Big B, Ben 10, and the rest of the group make up his core team. And without Baby Joe, the BBG machine has been operating without a hitch. Baby Joe has been working on new music with his return of the Gorilla Project, which he claims has been making some beautiful little numbers as he attempts to start over in his career. Despite the cloud over his reputation, he is making an effort to move on, although it has obviously been difficult. Their relationship appears to be in an odd limbo. They are not as cool as they once were, but they are also not actively beefing. Baby Joe had been hoping that they will finally connect again. In one interview, he said, "We might end up linking up soon," but he also admitted that his legal condition makes it impossible for him to travel and participate in any tour activities. YoungBoy's desire to make amends is another issue. He may not see the need to revisit past issues because he has been concentrating on his business, especially since his career has been going so well. That's it, family. The whole analysis of the NBA YoungBoy and BBG Baby Joe incident has the hip-hop community talking. From our early days as friends working hard at Baton Rouge studios to the current complex quagmire we are in. It's been a crazy journey that demonstrates how success and wealth can shatter even the closest relationships. Although the $70,000 dispute may appear to be solely about money, it's actually about loyalty, trust, and how pride can drive individuals apart even when they most likely still love one another. One thing is certain, regardless of your belief in Baby Joe's account that YoungBoy was too drunk to recall handing him the money. The negative aspects of brotherhood in the music business are exposed by this drama. How do you all feel about Baby Joe's explanation? Do you think he's being honest, or is this just a last-ditch effort to win back YoungBoy's favor? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. If this breakdown helped you understand what's truly going on, hit the like button and subscribe for more content that reveals all the drama in hip-hop. Until the next time, be careful and keep in mind that your reputation is crucial on these streets. Tranquility.